Well,
Man,
if the heat and humidity doesn't stop, and I'm going to be just okay.
I see. Oh, well, it's better than bad.
you doing any traveling this summer?
No. Yeah, day trips. We'll probably get away to Maine, but not until September.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice to go up there in September.
yeah. Um, yeah. Not sure where yet. Probably mid coast, but yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not traveling.
You're, you're staying put. There's a lot to be said for that too.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Especially in
redoing
your
our.
home. Your home is so nice. I could spend a while just perusing your books and enjoying your living room. And remembering to step up when I go towards the table there.
Oh, good, you remember this.
I do. I do. I remember twice I was up on the top part and forgot to step down and surprise myself.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was. I'm not sure that it was our best choice ever, but we like it. So,
it definitely has a warm. Your home is a wonderful place.
thank you, thank you. Well, we're redoing our kitchen actually. I think they're going to start probably late August or early September. So,
Oh yeah. Wow.
so that kind of that's keeping us here.
That's an investment too.
Oh boy, certainly is. However, it's supposed to increase the value of your house. So,
Yeah. That and bathrooms.
yes, well, and we just did the downstairs bathroom, so we're trying to keep up. Um, and where are Joanne and Carol?
You got quite I forgot to mention yesterday, David, you have quite a big house going up down the street.
Quite a big. Oh yes, yeah. They they're finally getting underway. They cleared the property months ago and
Yeah.
just got started now. So
I'm not sure I would have put it down in that,
yeah,
sort of hollow.
my thought too. But I presume they'll be planning for that issue.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should go ahead and start.
Yeah. I wonder if they're driving over.
Well, they must be. And maybe they got caught in traffic or
Yeah,
who
yeah,
knows.
road work or something.
Um, there's not too much coming from Norwich. Most of our issues are going the other way. Um, they, did a big, well over 2 years on the bridge, and then on the other side they put one roundabout in, and they're putting a second one now. So
Yeah.
we've had delays for a long time,
Mm.
right, Bill?
Yes.
He's had to drive through them.
in Virginia, they seem to randomly decide they need to paint the lines on the road that look perfectly fine and do other things. You never
Ah,
know when you drive on
Hello.
these two-lane roads
oh,
what's going
Here
to
we
be there.
are.
the,
Oh, it's
the,
nice and chilly down here.
oh, that's so you don't fall asleep.
Yeah, we don't. I only fall asleep in meditation class. No, I don't. Not really. Thank you. Yeah. The herbs, my healthy herbs shirt.
Your healthier shirt.
That's what it is. It's healthy herbs.
Oh,
See? It's got all sorts of herbs in it.
yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
And then they'll tell you what they are around the edges. Not that I can read it.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Yeah.
garlic.
Great. Hiya.
Ah! How you doing, Ricks?
What?
Rick? Bills. Bills? Oh, good Lord, I'm just...
Well,
many Ricks in my life. It's like, I know, I looked at him like, Rick?
yeah, I know. We hate to remind you of your bills.
My big, beautiful bills.
Don't we have a lot of those?
Oh, yeah, really.
Uh, well,
Well, good morning, everybody.
I am recording.
Good. Oh, yeah, good. I know. Well, I guess, yeah, I can't see that, though, but I'll trust you.
It is.
Yeah.
So, questions, reports, conundrums, successes.
Carol has that look.
Well, the thread thing, I can feel something or other in my hands, not not in my feet, toes, and
Uh-huh.
try to kind of focus on just being more aware of my feet.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, that's good.
so, but
Yeah, no, I do feel it. Although I also aware that, you feel like, I do a lot of sewings. This is a thread, but I also know that it's it's not just a straight line. We haven't talked about that yet, but I know it's not. So I don't want to get too wedged into only one aspect of it.
Okay, good. Either Bill have anything you want to throw in?
Well, I mean, I feel it also, actually in both my fingers and my toes. Um, I still have trouble differentiating between just general, energy flow and the thread, which I take it is much more specific, and
Better.
that's what I feel in my fingers. Um,
Yeah, it says 100.
and then I'm not sure how to track it after the fingers.
Mm.
And
How what?
Then you can't track it after the fingers.
Ah. Okay. Mr. Bynum?
I think it seems like every time I practice, I think about a different thing. But the one that was the most powerful was yesterday, trying thinking about twisting and the extending and the thread and feeling. And that seemed to add a lot of feeling for the energy flow
Mm.
through the fingers going towards the spine, more. and a little bit in the legs, but not as much. But it's still hard to get the twisting or spiraling, whichever. I'm not sure, never been sure how to differentiate, but the one level versus another. But so I must just be twisting. So, but that having that being aware of that seemed to help think about the space, the place in the middle for energy to be flowing through more.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to look at that today.
Okay.
Matter of fact.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that, just to maybe clarify slightly for you, Bill, that the twisting, well, it encourages and is an important part of moving the energy through the body. It is primarily focused on movements that are revolving around the limb or torso. I mean, it is going on in the entire body. Spiraling is a similar energetic movement that is twisting from place to place. In other words, when you spiral, that energy doesn't just twist, it twists and goes out and comes back. So it's a different movement, energetic movement in the body than just twisting. And it took me a long time to begin to feel it. So don't feel that you're not doing what you ought to do if you're not feeling spiraling, because it is more important to really get twisting established, and then it's eventually you can move into spiraling. So let me keep you from getting bored.
Overwhelmed, maybe bored.
So, I guess one of the things I want to say is that in order to really do this effectively, you have to practice it. And so, really focusing on threading in your practice can make a huge difference in what you actually accomplish and what you actually feel. So your chi has to go through your body as a whole. Right now, let's leave the channels out of it. Let's just talk about your body as a whole. You want to have a very clear sense of everything. Everything it goes from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, and from the bottom of your feet through your body to the top of your head. And more. So, a relatively simple goal, haha. And I want to look at this. This is what, adding on to what we did last week. And we're not going to focus principally on the hands today. They can have, we're going to allow them in this practice to have a very small up and down movement. So don't focus on your hands. Make it something very simple. So what we're going to do is think of just doing a very simple movement in which, starting at the bottom, bringing the energy up to your diaphragm and down. So that means up through the feet and the ankles and the calves and thighs and quad to the diaphragm. That's as high as we're trying to go. And then back down through all of those. So really focusing on that lower flow. And as you notice, I wasn't moving my hands very much. You can let the hands and arms move slightly, but don't do a whole lot with it. And that's all we're looking for, is a very smooth chi flow, because within that you only know one thing. Wherever it does not flow, you have to make it go through. And that's the goal. So, stand up. And rest. Move into your basic structure. Feel where you are and breathe. So let yourself bend and sink a little bit. Forget in your arms. Just let them move any way you want, but not very much. Just using your hands to get your energy to come up. So slowly rising. And then let your hands and body drop into your feet. And then coming back up again. And if you can get your chi to go all the way up to your diaphragm. As you go down, are you getting it to go through everything, through your body and down to your feet? Just continue this movement, really trying to feel the energy moving all the way from feet to diaphragm and back down. Now, if this helps you to do this with an inhale and an exhale, go right ahead. But it's not absolutely necessary to do so. The biggest thing you want to do is to have the ability to check, is your chi moving up and down without getting stuck? When you do get stuck, for the moment, just recognize where it is. Because every practice we've been doing, getting one thing to open and another to close, and doing it with your channels, opening and closing, trying to be unstuck. So have what was stuck not be stuck. So you have a flow. If you have any kind of an illness, I guarantee you're going to feel some blocks in your chi when they get stuck somewhere. But what is it? You have to recognize it before you can do something with it. Otherwise, you can miss it completely. It's just a simple movement. Don't make it too big. And certainly not about moving your hands. Just let there be a small hand movement. Can you get your chi to go through or not? This is a practice you can do sitting down too, when you're at work. This can help you not get stuck during the day, sitting at a computer. You're going up and you're going down. So now I want you to go into the second movement of God's. You're going to have the bending forward. But when you bend forward, you need to take the chi from the height of your diaphragm and you're going down. Bring it down your body clearly until you get it into your feet. And when you come up, bring it up. And on the way, clearly notice where you're breaking. Keep the arm movement small. Don't allow it to be large. You can deal with pain in your body when you can make your energy go through the pain. It will get less. If the place in your body gets worse, your pain usually gets worse. It's really that simple. Chinese phrase is, if you have pain, your chi is not flowing or it's blocked. If your chi is flowing and circulating and not blocked, you don't get pain or disease. No block, no pain or disease. It's really a simple formula. Well, it's an issue of sensitivity. Now, if you can, it would be wise to stop moving your hands and arms very much. Let it be very, very little. You want to focus just on what's happening inside your body. Because when you move your hands, it becomes more difficult to notice that. So focus just on what's happening inside your body. First thing is to get a sense of whether you've got a flow or not. And now transition to movement 3. And leave your arms alone. Just do your clock positions and turn your body. Notice as you go down, whenever you bend forward, is your chi moving from your diaphragm down to your feet? And when you shoot the arrow, is the chi going up from your feet to your diaphragm? Where is it moving? Where is it getting stuck? In any form of physical exercise, wherever you move, there are two ways you can look at it. One way is, are you kind of doing the movement so you can be focused on accomplishing the task of doing the motion? And another way of doing it is you can focus on what this motion is supposed to be doing inside you. The second way is the Qigong way. You can see physical motion. You can't see the Qi moving inside you, but you can feel it. So this is one big difference between internal movement and external movement. Internal movement is feeling what is happening inside of you. What is your body actually doing? And Qigong is all about what is your body doing and making it better. have to bend to the left and right. You have to bend downward and you have to bend up. So keep checking. You go around the clock. Whether you make a big circle or a small circle, you're moving downward. Is your chi going to your feet? Is it getting stuck? Is it open? What does it feel like when it gets stuck? You need to practice until the contrast is clear. Now go to movement 4. And move your hands a little bit if it helps you. Don't actually move your arms a lot. You feel the chi actually moving through your body. Remember, you're only going up to the diaphragm. Don't move your focus to the neck and head and arms. We'll be doing that later. Right now we're focusing primarily on your torso and legs. Is the chi between your lower and your middle dantian integrating or not? and opening up. This awareness inside your body is very important. When you sit at a desk for long periods of time, because the object is, when you work, to damage your body as little as possible. Not damage it and do something about it later. Now move into movement 5. Still keeping the hands small. Closing and opening your qua. Feel your energy moving from diaphragm to feet and back to diaphragm. Now go to movement 6. energy flows smooth. Even though you're not moving as much. Is there any place you feel a block that you need to release? And now transition into movement 7. Maintain your same focus. It's not different. Reverse direction if you have not. ready, you can close. You can sit. That's fine. So there are 8 energy flows in Qigong. Just as in the I Ching, there are 8 ways that all things happen. And the way you approach Tai Chi, Qigong, Taoist yoga, anything, and to give you an idea, if there's forward, there's simultaneously back. And if there's up, there's down. And whether it happens simultaneously or sequentially, one follows the other. There is left, there's right. There's inside, there's outside. And if there's outside, there's inside. We're playing around the up and down. Questions, comments? Did that help you to feel a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. And I little blockage in my ankles because they've been really swollen lately. But I think by the time I got to 6, there was like a gateway that opened, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Because it felt at first like it was coming up from my toes, and then it would kind of like get lost in this swim, this like, pocket or something. It was, ugh. But then I would kind of be able to feel it coming back up, as if it had kind of jettisoned itself out. And then by the time 6 came, it felt more like there was an actual flow. So that was interesting because I wasn't expecting it, but I was working on it.
Yeah,
I was
good.
very intentionally working on it. So
Good.
that was interesting.
Bill?
I think focusing on that flow in the spine up and down and removing the arms a lot, and so the main thing happening was the art the spine, and that really helped focus in a way that when I'm using the arms, I have a harder time. You know, the arms are a big distraction, I guess, in a way.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Good.
When you were talking about blockages, all of my blockages were from here up. It's like, oh, we're not dealing with that shit.
Interesting.
Not yet.
Not super energetic, but very smooth
Uh-huh.
in my legs.
Good.
And then I got to the diaphragm, and it's going, I can't breathe. Or, and then
And then that.
Interesting.
trying to, okay, I'm focusing down here. This we'll deal with this another time.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, okay, release the blockages. Well, they're up here.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But it will help to release the upper blockages if you have the lower flow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mr. Nagel?
4 and 6 generated a whole lot of heat for me. So I guess it was really moving. I had more trouble monitoring 3 and 7, probably because of the horizontal aspect as opposed to the vertical of, most of the rest of the movements. I felt it, but it's a matter of, I guess, having, to carry the, that's going to come out wrong. I think it took me a while to spread the upward motion and the downward motion through the horizontal movement of both of those. I don't know whether that's sensible or not, but
Doesn't have to be.
That's interesting because I think it changed 3 and 7 for me, thinking about that awareness because in 7 especially, I'm more thinking about, sort of changing the opening of the vertebrae as you go around and being sure that it's rotated and everything, than thinking about the energy going up and down. And to switch to thinking about the energy going up and down was not easy, but it certainly added a dimension to it that I was pretty much ignoring yes,
well,
for this session. And I think it helped in 3 too to have a different awareness of the energy going out when you shoot and going up that short distance we're focusing on uh, with the shoot the bow, shoot the arrow. That was part of it, which is quick, and it helped to slow, that long trip with it coming in between the releases and 3. Uh, it felt better, was feeling good. So
Good. Yeah. So I think this is a really good practice to try to really focus on for a little while. Letting go of the hands and arms and discovering that you can still move the energy well
Yeah.
is an important step. And remember that the legs and the lower part of the torso move 10 times as much energy as the upper torso and the arms. So that's a big difference. So it's important that not only you get that flow going, but that you're able to feel it so that you can keep it going and eventually be able to focus it to wherever you need it. So, any other thoughts or questions? That's, oh, go ahead.
No, I had an observation, but I think it was earlier when, because of my ankles, the difference between being able to draw the energy up and feel like I can get it through there, as I described before, but then coming down, it seemed to just dissipate at the ankles, that I couldn't kind of feel it back in the feet at all.
Huh.
But yet, drawing it back up again, there's that kind of point where I could do that. So I just noticing the difference between
That's
the flow up and the flow down. And I think that changed, obviously, by like 6, but because of, and maybe, as I practice this week, maybe I can get it to change earlier.
yeah.
Try for 5 tomorrow.
So each step counts.
Each step counts.
Anyone else? Okay, well,
A question in the practice: can we not move the arms much, but let the sensation of the chi rise above the diaphragm, or is it important that it stop there?
Good question.
Because it's
yeah, right. It's
you could be aware of it rising beyond that, but don't focus on
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
it. Because, as you point out, you have particular issues in that area, and perhaps other people do too. And it will change the practice if you begin to get focused above the diaphragm. But it's moving above the diaphragm, and so if you're aware of it, that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
That
you
the
don't
fo-
have to
it is
block
the
it
focus.
off there.
Right. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
stop it.
No. Oh, hopefully not.
No. Yeah. But I found that just from maybe the beginning of, I don't know if I did this for all of them, but for some of them, just at least doing the arms the first time kind of kicks it in. I didn't need to do that for 3, which is interesting, but I did for a few of them.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. As long as you can let go there.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we've done this so much that
Yeah.
that wasn't the problem.
It's not a new movement.
No, it's not a No.
Would talk a minute, David, about the difference between 5 and 6 when you aren't using your arms? 'Cause to me, they're
Mhm.
identical. And you mentioned qua when we were in 5, and I'm not thinking much about releasing my qua in 5. So maybe I should be.
It
True
might help a little.
confessions.
Well, obviously our principal focus in 5 and 6 is getting the energy to move up and down the central channel. But it also moves up and down the side channels, and it moves all the way from your feet to your head and back down through your feet. And that's only 2 of the 8 primary flows. So we're trying not to complicate things too much at this point, but there's a lot of different energy movements happening simultaneously. But our focus in between 5 and 6 really is the movement up and down the central channel. And the arms don't have to be involved at all. actually. It may, when you begin to really let the energy go above the diaphragm, the, the arms begin to be really involved. But right now, we're really just working with that lower movement. And so we're not, the hands are not really involved because as soon as the energy really flows above the diaphragm, then you have to move it all the way to the crown of the head and the fingertips. And now we're into another part of the body, other parts of the body. So that actually getting it to move smoothly from the diaphragm through the feet and back up to the diaphragm, you could look at as the simpler flow, part of the flow. But because the legs are more difficult, because we stand on our legs all the time, it isn't necessarily easier at all. So you don't want the hands and arms to become a distraction when your focus is on the lower part of the body. You have another question, Bill?
No, no, no. I mean, we could just keep on going, but
There are always more questions.
Well, I don't mind more questions. I just
yeah.
For me, the difference between 5 and 6 is the direction of the energy as opposed to the body.
Yep.
That 5,
Mhm.
the energy is coming up when you're sinking,
Yeah.
Yep.
and down when you're rising. But in 6, the energy is coming up when you're rising and down when you're sinking.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And
Hmm.
you don't need arms to do that.
No, that's true. Yeah,
No,
I
you
did.
don't.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I did one arm for 5, and then not nothing again,
Yeah.
and nothing for 6. You were like clear. Yeah, it's clear. True.
Good.
Got the quad there.
Oh, did you want me to talk more about the qua?
Yes, yes.
I had a feeling.
The qua is always involved. And it's really important that it be opening and closing. And you don't have to be doing much physical movement, but there needs to be a very clear energetic movement there.
Mhm.
The physical movement is also present, but it changes. In 2, you've got a lot of qua movement, physical qua movement. In 7, you have very, very little. But ideally, you're still moving the energy fully and smoothly through the body. So, being aware that the qua is not only moving, but energetically opening and closing is really important because obviously it's it's the gateway between the legs and the torso.
Right.
So it really is important not to lose awareness of the qua, because it has both an energetic and a physical importance, certainly, in what we're doing.
Mhm. I think there is at least for me, there's a tendency, if I'm focusing on one thing, then, I mean, I know everything in the cloud would be a key for the whole, everything below. There's no part of your body that's not active in any part of the, of
Yeah,
Qigong, but
absolutely.
to have that awareness through your total body and have the coordination and the going in and out of the energy, up and down, and uh, everywhere, I guess, is our, that's the thing, isn't it? So, to not be leaving, don't leave any part behind, I guess.
Well, it's right back to Wu Yujiang's statement: if any part moves, all parts move, and if any part is still, all parts are still. So if you don't move the Kwa, if you don't move the energy at the Kwa, you should freeze.
Right.
You're done.
You're moving it, you just don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, of course, you can do physical movement without any energetic movement, which is
Yep.
the other sort of dead thing. So,
And there is a lot. I mean, we're talking now about an enormous amount of different things happening at different levels in the body, and we're right back to the only way to get that all to work together is practice, so that you arrive at the point where you don't have to think about it, because thinking gets in the way of deeper awareness. Not only in meditation, but also in this. Because remember that God's really is considered to be a bridge between Neigong and meditation.
oh,
So eventually it can become a form of meditation.
Mhm.
That's probably enough.
right.
Yeah.
I think this was a really good class. Thank you, David.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's recorded.
It's recorded.
Started, yes.
And next week is the beginning of a new session I will throw out.
Okay.
And
Very
I
good.
look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay, good. I'll see you guys. Bye.
Have a
Yep.
great week. And here we are.
And here we are. I was thinking as you were just saying that about meditation, because when I started the meditation class, you're like, oh, you could use gods, you said to me. But I use heaven and earth because everyone else is. And I had done it before, so
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But I see, yeah. Yeah. Want to be part of the crowd. And that's a good practice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God, would take a whole lot longer.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, sure would.
Yeah.
Part of God should.
Well, yeah, I'd have to kind of really cut it. Yeah, it'd be like.
You might want to just do a short flow.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I
But
hadn't
still,
said that.
no, I feel like it's good to be. Yeah. Doing what
Well,
the
heaven
others
and
are
earth
doing.
is such a good practice. I mean, so is God's obviously, but the Qigong or Neigong before meditation is intended to really encourage and open up the energy flow, so that when you go into doing your meditation, you've already dealt with getting the energy to be moving, and now you can use that in your meditation. Because you have to have that very clear awareness of energetic blockages. not just
Uh-huh,
physical,
yeah.
but the energy. And
Yes.
if your energy isn't flowing as much as it can, and you're not aware of how it's flowing, how do you tell what's blocked?
Right.
So that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, mañana.
So, the third paragraph.
I actually did once, maybe twice this week. It's only been a week.
That's only for a
It's
week.
like 6 months some days. Yeah, I mean, we're getting into, once we get past Fair Maiden, we're getting back into that whole thing. Until we get to Rooster, I guess, right? I think I went to Rooster.
Yeah.
I didn't, or no, it's Rooster and then Monkey, right?
Yeah.
Yes, right. I think I went that far. Which felt good just in terms of going, oh yeah, no, there's nothing I've like really forgotten. Except the order of it sometimes. And my cheat, I pulled my old cheat sheet out. Adam and I would take a class, we both had massive cheat sheets. I think he had it on the wall. This bit, we took what I still have it's in my backpack actually. We took the handout you gave and then I blew it up so I could see it while I was practicing. Otherwise I'd have to go back. I didn't want to stop, right?
Yeah.
So I'm back to that. Because it's the way I learn from visual stuff as well as physical, right? So it's just that way of getting it. Oh, where am I again? I'm back to here. Where am I going now? Right. So that seems to be a little bit more. Although I'm not sure I'm doing maidens exactly as I should be, but I suppose we should see.
I suppose we should say yes.
Have you had the cats playing down here, David?
Yeah.
I see these little pieces of aluminum. I'm like, what are they? And then when I get up, I'm like, oh, the ball. There's a ball of aluminum.
I was going to try to sweep this
Oh,
morning.
no, it doesn't. No, I thought it was
It just didn't quite
Oh, yeah,
get-
you have a little cat. Oh, yeah, no, my house.
We have started putting the cats down here at night because Moki, not Mango, but Moki insists on waking me up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's not okay. My feeling is if your bladder doesn't wake you at that hour, nothing should.
Well, if my bladder wakes me up, I could go right back to sleep. But if
not
he
when the
wakes
cat's
me
on
up,
you.
Nah.
Yeah, now I woke up this morning to one of them hawking up something again.
Yeah.
I chased one yesterday enough to get a cat's worth of fur off of it. It's that season. Like as soon as it gets hot.
Yep.
But the other one just goes after me. He is not happy with my brush. I need a brush with a handle this long. Or I need to get those gloves. I have those garden gloves because I bruise so easily. So I got garden gloves that go from here down, and then they kind of, so I could like pick blackberries without bleeding too much.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
I
a good.
need to put that on
Yeah.
and brush them.
Probably not. Well, unless they're leather, they're not going to
Patrick had very heavy ones at school a month ago, and a kid still bit through them and broke his. He works with the hardest kids at the school, and this child was he's young and acting out, and
Well,
bit Patrick.
Aha.
But that's why Patrick has these like that. They're not leather, but they're not the little garden. They're I don't know what they're made out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
start at the beginning of the third.
Where are
Start
we?
at
Yeah.
the beginning of the third.
How do we get here? Yeah, I may
Oh,
need a
wait.
little prompting, or I'll look over at you, Carol, and go, "Where are we again?"
You start at the same place as you begin.
Yes, that
Beginning
part
of
I
the
got.
sentence.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want. I usually don't do it with my shoes on, but I'm afraid it's cold. Oh yeah, I can deal with this. It's cold. It's just so much easier when I'm barefoot.
Yeah.
Rather than those shoes. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's fun.
I can feel my body from that earlier exercise. It's like, whoa. Anyway.
So, I did watch you primarily.
I can tell.
I
I understand.
I looked at you now and then, but you're a little more comfortable with the movement
I
than.
know.
So
Yeah, I haven't done the third paragraph.
We did it. We did it for years, like 3 hours.
exactly.
Yeah, you are in a more advanced. You
Yeah.
were more advanced than me.
Back in the day when Jeff was still here.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
The 3 of us and getting that.
Yep. Just some places to
Yeah, I can tell there are places that
be aware of.
yeah.
One thing I would say, and Carol's definitely ahead of you with this, but to be aware that every posture has 2 parts, 2 energetic parts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard sometimes with the speed of what's happening. But I was thinking, for instance, when you're doing grasping the sparrow's tail,
Mm-hmm.
that you started with the in here.
Mm-hmm.
You have the out, then you have an in and an out, and you have an out
Mm.
and an in,
Yeah.
and an in and an out.
Yeah, I'm not doing all of that. I know that. I was like, oh.
So
Like, I'm aware enough
okay,
after the fact that it was like, oh no, why? What am I missing here?
yeah.
So I guess that's a good first step.
Well, I just want to make sure that you're, aware of that.
Yeah.
When you go into play peepaw,
Mm.
one of the things that we don't think about sometimes is that begins with a twisting in and ends with a twisting out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a close and an open
Mm-hmm.
as you go into that.
And I think I'm kind of unlearning an exaggeration.
Yes.
I know that. So, but
Yeah.
that's helpful.
Because as you can see, I'm not doing a
Yeah,
huge.
yes, exactly. There's more
um,
subtlety that I had been
movement.
doing. Yes.
Single whip. I'm feeling that you're losing the rounded sort of figure eight movement
Okay.
going into that. So remembering that there is a twisting in and a twisting out and a twisting in and an out. And they're not all the same
Right.
length or size, but
Yeah. Right.
but there is a real boom, boom, boom in that. It's a real figure eight movement through that transition. Slow down, wave hands.
I was zipping right through.
Suddenly, you had a pace going, and you got to wave hands, and you doubled the pace.
Interesting.
I did notice, by the way, that you were getting some of the in and out and things that you were doing, and your wave hands is coming along nicely, beginning to get a real flow and not letting it get stuck anywhere. It's probably enough to.
That's good, and it's recorded.
To dump on you at the moment.
No, that's yeah.
Yeah, and really, I mean, obviously in God's, you're really beginning, I think, to get a sense of how the body, when we do have the arms involved, how the body is moving the arms and not the
Yes.
arms
Yep.
leading. So you want to make sure that is present, obviously, and where it shows up, and it's difficult is, for instance, when you go into when you go into I can't do it facing that way.
Right, yeah.
Just for a moment.
Yeah,
while
it's okay. I get it.
Yeah, we've gone here. Oh, okay. Okay. But this needs to be all a twisting in, and then the out is just coming from the spine.
Yep. Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, it's a small movement. It's not this movement.
Right. It's coming. Yeah.
So, and that, you know, that's true all the way through. But
Right.
that was just another one I wanted to mention.
You think I was too more exaggerated? I mean, I feel it is coming from the back, but maybe I'm pushing it.
Yeah, it's what it felt like in that particular one was that you did just fine to begin with, and then you thought you ought to do more.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that may be true. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Just
don't-
do what's
yeah, keep it small.
yeah. This is a small practice.
So, is there?
No, those things you pointed out were the things that I noticed in particular. Well, before the so
Yeah,
but the others I had. Well, maybe not.
you know,
Yeah.
It-
Yeah, I think
I was going to say about wave hands. It's now that we're doing the whole movement, it's much more complex and difficult than what the movement we started when we just first learned it. because of the fact that now you never want to let that
That's right.
rotation get
Yep.
lost, that
Yep.
it's always present,
Yep.
and that it's going out and
And it's going in, but it's not being pressed.
Yeah. So it's
Yep. Yep.
I understand the complexity of that movement, but and I the thing I suddenly was thinking was that I understand that trying to practice both gods and this is difficult because of time.
And finding time for meditation.
Yeah. Well,
Ta-da! I'm like, yeah.
nothing to it.
Nothing to it. Nothing to it. Yeah.
But fortunately, you already know heaven and earth
Yes.
pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that part is. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
All right.
That
No, I think that's
enough?
That's a lot, but I will do my best.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it felt good to be able to get that far this week, and kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, like, okay.
No, it's
We're gonna get back to that towards the end. I'm like, oh, a few places that were like a little more challenging, but
Well, the inn doesn't get much practice.
it doesn't get much practice. That's true.
we're gonna try to.
We're gonna get there though.
We're gonna get there.
Again,
Put some,
you over and over and over again.
put
But
some
yeah.
awareness on it.
No, it's all yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
That's what we're saying.
Great. All right.
All right, I'm gonna run and go to the bathroom before I get back in the car.
Okay.
Leave this here.
How's Mr. John doing?
Really well this week. Last week, beginning of last week, we bought this new bed, and he was able to shift from bed to bed to try it out, and so I mean, got a lot of movement in that he didn't normally have, so that was good.